Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Hello and welcome to the Chaser Report. I'm Charles Firth, and with me today is Dom Knight.
Hello.
And the wonderful Andrew Hansen.
Hello.
Not that you're not wonderful, Dom.
Oh, it's okay. Andrew is a special treat for me.
Yes.
I'm here all the time.
Yes.
Andrew's a deluxe edition.
Yeah, but it's more wonderful, a lot more wonderful. I don't know, We'll work it out. Hello. How you doing, Dommy and Charles?
I was actually going to ask you, Andrew, should probably do this off air, but I might as well do it on air.
Yeah.
Which is next week I'm going to be doing my live show for the first time,
God.
and I'm just wondering whether you would be able to take over from me co-hosting this podcast just for a few episodes while I...
While you fiddle with your live show, yeah. I'd love to co-host.
Yeah.
I love a good old co-host. Why not?
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, well then it'll be the Chaser Report with Dom and Andrew next week.
What a
Let's
luxury.
try that. Let's try
Andrew,
it.
Andrew, look, if you want to pull out of it later, by all means, you can just say you're going to on the podcast.
Oh, no, I love being offered jobs on air, in the middle of a podcast and having to decide.
By the way, literally as we're recording this, I've just had because one of the segments that we're now running, Andrew, is a segment about what should our other segments on the podcast be.
Oh, yes.
And we actually asked listeners to text in with suggestions for...
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. You're supposed to come up with your own segment.
But what this guy is saying is maybe Aldi reviews, like which we did a segment on Aldi reviews. Maybe that should be our whole next podcast, is just reviewing Aldi products. Because there's so much, there's so much comedy in every Aldi product.
Well, we were seriously going to start a Kmart News podcast with Zoe Not Lodge, who's too busy to do it, but it was a really good idea because the Kmart News is hilarious.
And I think we should, like Aldi does, where they always say, "Oh, this is money award," because coffee beans, which are undrinkable from Aldi, right? And but they're award winning. But they're Money Magazine's award winning coffee, right? Like,
well, if anyone knows coffee, it's Money Magazine. It's not Gourmet Traveller. No. I wouldn't go there. But I wouldn't go to the Good Food and Wine Guide.
We should have our own Chaser gold medal winner. Which
that's good.
You win that if you're particularly crap.
Yeah, and if you want to sponsor the podcast and get these bullshit awards, just contact Acast. They sell our ads.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Andrew, you had promised us last time we chatted, tantalisingly, some news from not Australia, but the world's most reputable news source. And frankly, I feel news deprived. I want to be newsified.
Look, I can fill you in because let's go straight to the source. Let's go to the Daily Mail, Dommy and Charles. They're having a bloody red-hot week of headlines here. And I mean, look, I haven't even read the details of some of these headlines, so I thought we could just maybe shoot the breeze and work out what's going on ourselves. Here's one. Now, this is happening in the world, according to the Daily Mail headline.
But can I just point out a fatal flaw with this plan, Andrew, which is that the Daily Mail headlines are about the length of an article.
Oh, yes.
They will tell us exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I hope you're
They
sitting...
take up the entire screen.
I hope you're sitting comfortably as I read out these long Daily Mail headlines. Here's one. Listen to neighbour from hell's almighty scream at tradies after her attempts to fake an injury and hit them with a piece of timber didn't go to plan. Now, I don't know. What do you think? Look, I haven't even attempted to read the article here. But look, let's break it down. What's going on? So there's a neighbour from hell.
Of course.
She's screaming at tradies. She's tried to fake an injury. She's also tried to hit the tradies with a piece of timber. But that whole thing didn't go to plan. That's what's happening here. So, I mean, what's even going on? Can you even begin to explain this to me?
I presume... are we wanting a comedic answer or the truthful answer?
I just want to actually understand the facts of the case before we start joking.
I think the truthful answer is surely this involves crystallised methamphetamine.
Yes. It does sound like
tale of... Isn't that what always happens? People get naked and hit people with pieces of wood.
She thought it was
pieces
a
of
pillow,
wood.
having a pillow fight.
Yeah, I think this could be it, couldn't it? Well, I mean, oh my gosh, yes. Oh, look, I've opened the article and it mentions that she's an elderly woman, actually, so which makes the crystal meth explanation maybe less likely.
Possibly more. I just want to understand how she's a neighbour from hell, right? Because that's a current affair kind of trope that they love. But we haven't even hearing about the neighbour. Like, she's a customer from hell, and she's clearly violent and deranged, but what's she done to her neighbours? What do the neighbours gripe with this?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because she's always screaming and wielding pieces of timber. Well, not only that, but at the end...
Are you sure she's not the Governor General's wife?
It does sound a bit that way.
She's actually singing a song.
She's trying to sing.
I imagine the tradies. The tradies asked her not to sing, and she was very upset.
Look, maybe that. I think we've. I think we've worked that one out.
I just want to ask though, who among us has not wanted to hit a tradesperson with some sort of blunt object? I mean,
me. I've never, tradies are the people who do things that I am completely unable to do in my life.
But don't they shame you and make you feel like less of a man because of their brute genius?
The worst tradie experience I've ever had is when I thought our dishwasher was broken, and so I called up the tradie, and it was sort of like, you got to come quickly because I've got to get the dish washed, and he came out the same day, and then he showed me where the power button was.
Charles, that's bad. That's really bad.
Fixed it.
That's so bad.
$100.
Only 100. What?
That's
a miracle. Most tradies would charge at least $900 for that. Well, see, I find the opposite though. The tradies, whenever I get a tradie, they always fold their arms. They look at the problem that you've described, and despite having worked as a tradie doing nothing but this very thing for the last 27 years, he always shakes his head and says, "Oh, I've never seen anything like this before." What did they do? They always say that. They always say, "Oh, well, I don't know how they've done this, but I mean, the last people who were in here must have just done something very. What's this? Oh, yep, I don't know. Nah, we're going to have to think about this." And they've never seen any problem before, ever. Like, every problem is completely brand new, I find, to tradies. So you've been lucky. You've been lucky.
People that in tradie school.
I reckon it is. It's a deliberate ploy because then they have to bring in 6 more tradies and charge you 9 times as much. And because I'm such an idiot like you, Charles, I don't realise that it's just that I haven't turned the power button on. I think it's fake.
I guarantee my tradie had never seen that before. A level of stupidity so profound.
The Chaser Report. News you can't trust.
Should we get some royal?
Yeah. Let's get royal news. Let me guess. It's about Harry and Meghan.
Charles, you are a canny knower of royal news. Yes, King Charles, according to the headline, is evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage, leaving them without a UK home, and here's the sting in the tail, and offering the property to Prince Andrew.
I would feel upset.
Did you know this was happening?
I would feel devastated if it was made clear to me that I was lower in the hierarchy of my family than the pedophile.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, if you really want to hurt somebody's feelings, it's like, no, you can't have that, but Prince Andrew can. You know what I mean?
Sure, Andrew may have paid millions of the Queen's dollars to settle a child sex case. But he hasn't published a memoir that was a little bit embarrassing for the king.
But can I just also point out that haven't Harry and Meghan already left the UK anyway? So
that's what I wondered.
Frogmore Cottage have been empty anyway. Like,
exactly.
Is the outrage from them that, oh my God, we don't have a spare house?
I mean, his
in a different continent.
Spare. Yeah. He likes spare things. But also, Charles, you're not thinking like a rich person.
Normal people don't just have a spare house in a different country just in case
people.
They want to go there.
It's devastating for them. Didn't you hear? Poor old Prince Andrew, earlier in this whole legal process, had to sell his Swiss chalet to fund the legal fees. These people, they can't make do with just 5 houses. They need the 6th, Charles. Think like a rich person.
Yeah, it is.
So what's Prince Andrew going to do with the house?
Presumably,
or is he going to
lure children into it? Isn't he?
Is he going to turn it from a cottage into a lair?
Rename Frogmore Lair instead of Frogmore Cottage. Shagmore. Come to Shagmore Lair. It'd be a surprise. I hope Harry and Meghan have been told about this, because imagine if you turned up, to your holiday house and you open the door. Oh God, what's going on in here?
Work experience intern. Oh my God.
Is he going to put the walls, make the walls out of candy?
Yes, it's going to have to turn into a gingerbread house. The sort of Hansel and Gretel stuff.
Yeah.
House. Oh,
have a big cavernous cauldron to push the kids into.
Well, this has gotten truly disturbing at this point.
All right.
But not as disturbing as the things we know Prince Andrew has definitely done.
Yeah, and so just to like put so Prince Andrew's still a thing. How is Prince Andrew still? So is it like? I thought he'd sort of agreed to no longer be a royal.
But this is what it is.
No, he's going to be living in. He's going to be living in Shagmore Lair, next door to the bloody. That's what I thought. That's the other part of the story I don't get. I thought he'd been sort of booted out.
It's a shitty little place. By royal standards, right? For you and me...
It's basically like a jail.
Yeah, for you and me, it will be a massive, comfortable country mansion, right?
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of this place.
Yeah.
Harry and Meghan, they did it up, it cost them £4 million. It's pretty big, right? Yeah. But where Prince Andrew was before was in Buckingham Palace. He had a suite of apartments. So they are shunting a corner of the Windsor property or whatever. So they're taking him out of the public eye. So the king said, you can live here in seclusion in this lair, which, by the way, doesn't have any door handles. You'll find out when he's in there. So he's being demoted, but still within the context of getting free housing for life because he was born into the right family.
Yeah, I know. You'd think anyone else who'd sort of had the rumours circulating about them that he's had would have to move, to sort of,
I don't know. Made him the head of the church or something.
Like they would have. Yes.
What you're supposed to do.
Be in the Vatican.
Okay, sure. If the rule is now that you can't be a member of the royal family and probably a paedophile, I mean, sure, that can be the rule, but that's a big change for the family. It's after breaking hundreds of years of precedent.
Now, Dommy and Charles, have you been mesmerised recently? Well, according to the Daily Mail, a little-known, and speaking of dishwashers too, Charles, you might like this one, a little-known dishwasher hack has emerged, mesmerising thousands.
Does it involve the power button being on?
Oh, I think it's even. It's kind of at that level, actually. It's about a woman. This woman who's posted on socials a little video, and she's discovered this thing about her dishwasher. Right. What you can do is you can move the cutlery rack into different positions to make room for more plates. And so she shows you how you can sort of take the rack from this bit of the dishwasher and actually stick it on here instead, you see.
Yes.
And now the only other place that this hack can be discovered, I realised, is if you read the dishwasher manual. I mean, no wonder it's gone viral, my God. And the great thing is this woman also has another video I learned later in the article about how to clean the filter in the dishwasher. She shows you how to do that, and it's gone nuts. It's gone huge on TikTok, and again, the manual explains the same thing, but the manual's not on TikTok, isn't it? Imagine how many TikTok.
We don't do that anymore.
Manual.
Yeah, we don't read manuals.
No, we rely on YouTube, don't we? Yes.
No, but the thing is, but I think it's not just manuals. I think it's also parents, right? So in my experience, I've got teenage boys now, and like they don't spend any time talking to me. So my opportunity, the amount of time I have to teach them, this is how you clean the dishwasher filter, or this is, another way to stack the dishes, is basically zero, because they've got their face planted in TikTok the whole time. So, I think the fact that, basic sort of lessons for life that parents would otherwise tell them is now on TikTok is a good thing.
That is
because
good.
TikTok is basically their parent.
Well,
I see.
This is That's fantastic and a useful solution to the complexities of life, except for the fact that the Biden administration is apparently seriously considering banning TikTok in America.
So banning parents.
Because of its use.
They're just
as
banning
parents. It's a war on the family.
How will people know how to stack a dishwasher
Well, they
or
won't.
clean the
No,
filter?
yes. They won't.
The dishes are
There'll
not
have
going
to
to get
be an
washed.
American-made social network.
They'll
that
have
can
to teach
them.
They'll have to teach people how to read.
They'll never ever be able to wash dishes again. They'll simply stack them up in the sink forever.
There'll be a whole generation of people who watch TikTok rather than learning how to read.
But it's a trade-off,
It'll
isn't
just
it? Yes, it's an insidious social media app that monitors all of us and is brainwashing our children. But at the same time, useful life skills.
But also, like, we had that with Facebook, and nothing too bad happened during, when Facebook was the predominant social media app. I mean, except maybe the Trump administration being elected and the spread of fake news across the world and the destabilisation of
The many thousands who died because they saw vaccine misinformation and didn't get vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's all worth
Other
it.
than
All
that,
worth
whatever
it.
bad happened.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? TikTok, by comparison, has killed relatively few people thus far.
Have you tried opening it? The first time I opened TikTok, I felt very sick, and I thought, this is the end of civilization.
No, I
thought.
trying. I literally tried to open it last night, and I don't know. I can't work out the buttons. I've reached that age where I had to ask my son, "What do all the buttons do?"
Yeah, me
Which
too.
I think just means I should probably die.
It's a safety device so that old people can't use the app.
Oh, I see. It's definitely kept me off.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
To keep old people off the app. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That's actually a sort of approve.
It's actually to stop Prince Andrew
From
using
being
it
on
to
the app.
lure people into his lair.
Yes, that's right.
These confounded
I bet you
buttons.
$1 billion that Prince Andrew is on TikTok.
We'll catch you next time. Our Gears from Ride. We're part of the Iconoclast Podcast Network.
See ya.